What's up, guys? It's your boy Chris, Splatoon of channel. Tell me more, the haven for early 2000s kids and a few 90s babies. Okay, let's get into this. Today we're gonna be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. We're going to be talking about the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series from way back. Not way back, but I guess way back in the day. 13 years now. That's crazy. But yeah, specifically, we're going to be talking about the episode New Girl in Town, which was the episode when Leo met Karai, or when Karai met Leo. So let's get into this. It starts off with the Turtles. They're chasing this dude named Snakeweed, which is like a mutant weed monster guy. He was a normal guy from first episode. Stuff happens, he gets turned into a mutant, and you know that's his thing. But I'm trying to remember the jokes and stuff. Oh yeah, they chased him. He captures like a pizza guy, and Mikey's like, "No, take Donnie," like a goofball. But that doesn't happen, and they chase him into like an alleyway, and before they go in, Leo's like, "Okay, guys, we have to go up top to go get him." Or before I should say that, they do a little joke like, what's his name? Raph is like, "Okay, let's go weed whacking." Donnie's like, "Let's go tree trimming." Mikey is like, well, Raph says weed whacking. Donnie says tree trimming. Mikey is like, "Let's go gardening." Mikey put the sundae in that ice cream, or ice cream in that sundae, something like that. But Raph and Leo argue a bit, which gives Snakeweed enough time to leave. But before they catch him, they Leo's like, "Let's go up top. Let's climb the building so we can jump from up top." While Raph's like, "No, let's just go in. Let's go fight this dude." They miss him, obviously. Him and Leo argue some more, and Leo's like, "You know what? Why don't you become leader?" Even though Mikey tried to come in there and be like, "Hey, let's compromise. How about I become leader?" And they both look at him like, "About to beat your ass." But yeah, that doesn't happen. Leo leaves. The intro happens. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so Turtle Power. But after that, we have Leo punching stuff, breaking stuff. He's like on the roofs of New York, breaking whatever, kicking stuff. Then the Foot Clan shows up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys just made my night." Beats them up. He's like, "Oh, I feel so much better." Then a new Foot person pulls up. The person has a face mask, but she just hits him with some blinding powder, causes him to lose his senses, takes him down with one hit, has a knife to his face. That she's like, "I'm Karai. I'll see you later," then leaves. He's like, eyes all red and stuff. While you have, what's the name? Donnie on his map trying to look forward to the next spot, or he's triangulating all the places that Snakeweed's been kidnapping people in order to find out his lair. And he needed some encouragement. So Raph was like, "You better work faster." Beatrice is like, okay, I'm working faster. So Leo then shows up at the lair, which is underground. Obviously, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live in the sewers, underground in the sewers. So our boy Leo pulls up. They ask him where he's been. He's like, "I'm just been out." Mikey's like, "Oh, you've been crying." He's like, No, I just got hit with blinding powder." Him and Raph argue a little bit more. Raph doesn't want him to know or have intelligence about whatever mission they're doing, because Donnie was about to tell him the place where he thinks, because he found where Snakeweed is. He's gonna tell them, "Hey, this is where Snakeweed is." But Raph's like, No, you don't need to know. You don't need to know basis. I'm like, Brad, this dude with his temper. So after this, Leo goes to watch some Space Heroes, and I forgot the captain's name, but in this episode, his girlfriend is like a villain or something, so he has to disintegrate her. And he saves her boots. And yeah, that's the episode. He's like, "What a hero." That dude Leo is like, "What a hero." But Splinter pulls up. He's like, "Where's your brothers?" He's like, "Nah, they don't want to be. They don't want to listen to me. So I let Raph become the leader, and they're doing their whole thing." And he gets mad at this boy. He's like, "What are you talking about, bruh? It don't matter if you're the leader, or if I mean, not that. It don't matter if people don't say thank you. It doesn't matter if you're not appreciated. You're the leader, and it's about responsibility. And you're gonna carry that burden and like it." And he's like, "Fine, fine." He's like, "Go find your brothers." So he goes to go find his brothers. That's when our girl Karai pulls up on him again. This time, no blinding powder or none of that stuff. They flirt and fight each other with like one blades. Then he pulls out a second blade because she's like, "Oh, I've seen better with one sword or whatever." Then he's like, "Maybe with one." Pulls out a second sword. He's too schmeat. Pause. So he has to like fight the dude with two swords and stuff. Well, fight her with two swords. Doing this, the remaining three turtles are under the sewers, walking, trying to look for the lair. While it turns out Mikey doesn't know what sewage is, so they have to tell him that sewage is feces, and he's like, "Ugh, don't they know we're living down here?" So he didn't know that, and they finally find the place, even though Donnie was looking at the map the entire time. "No, I can't seem to find it." Then Raph is like, "You can't say." He looks up. He's like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'm a little blind," but apparently Snakeweed's been capturing all the humans to use them as fertilizers in like some pod thing, some like plant mushroom pod thing. He puts them all in there and stuff. So they all rip the fertilizer things off and like pull people out and stuff. The people wake up, but they like sneak in the shadows and hide. The people wake up and leave and stuff. And as soon as the last two people leave, our boy Snakeweed pulls up. He's like, "What the frick? My fertilizers!" Gets pissed, freaks out, and starts beating on their ass. But yeah, he starts working them up. While at the same time, we have Leo and Karai still flirting and fighting or whatever. Then Karai is like, "Oh, I have a deal for you." Because he's like, "Oh, I don't think you're as bad as you seem." But he's like, "Oh, no. Well, while she's like, nah, I'm pretty evil. Come on, trust me, I'm evil. But, maybe later at night or something, we can hang out at that super huge skyscraper over there and like, I don't know, do something." He's like, What is it?" He's like, "Nah, you just have to find out." So she dips on him and he's like, "Oh, wow. This is cool." Then he goes to go meet April to go tell April about Karai. At first, April didn't give an F because it's nighttime. She's like, "Bro, I'm sleeping, man. Why are you waking me up?" But as soon as he's like, "I met this girl," he's like, "What? Shut up. Tell me everything." So yeah, he tells her a little bit and she smacks him with a newspaper. She's like, "Bro, she's in the Foot Clan." But he's like, "No, but she might be cool. But she's in the Foot Clan. Something. She's in the Foot Clan." And that's how that goes. But he still plans to go. So she decides to text Donnie about the location. While during that time, they're trying to fight Snakeweed, but he's whooping their ass, obviously. And Raph doesn't have any strategies. He's just like, "Go for the head. Go for the head." Donnie's like, "For the fourth time?" He's like, "Yeah, go for the head." Then Mikey's like, "Okay, the fifth time's a charm." Tries to go for the head, but gets smacked into a wall. KO. And that's when Raph starts freaking out, because at first he just sucked. He was just like, "I don't know what to do." He was freezing. But now he's like, "Oh shit. He's like, "Oh, hold him back." But Donnie's like, "Okay, we got to get out of here." He ties up snakeweed weeds around like the sewage, and they get out of there. While Snakeweed's like, "I'm gonna find you, turtle. I'll find you." Then he like throws some spores on their backs and stuff, and yeah, that's how he's gonna find them later. So they pull up at the lair. They're freaking out. What's his name? Raph is freaking out. "Oh no, I haven't seen this hurt before. I have no problem risking my life, but I don't want to risk my brothers and stuff." Then Master Splinter's like, really? You think being a leader was easy? You think being a leader is just cakewalking? You just get to tell people what to do? You're responsible for people. It's a burden. That's what Leo has to deal with. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to be leader no more." I'm pretty sure this is the first time he actually like stopped trying to fight Leo about being the leader after this. But he then asks Raph to go find Leo, because Leo is the only one who knows how to handle Mikey getting knocked out and stuff. So he goes to go. Well, at first he's like, "I don't even know where it is." Then Donnie's like, "Well, April just texted me that he's at the Byerly building." Then he's like, what? April just texted me. This is the best day ever. Then you just hear Mikey moans like, oh. Then he's like, oh, well, it's had its ups and downs. It had its ups and downs. That was a little funny too. Then after this, Leo's up top. Wow, almost 10 minutes. Leo's up top talking to Karai and stuff, and she's like, oh yeah, there's this, oh yeah, Miyamoto Musashi's sword is like, oh, you see that? She gives him some binoculars and stuff. You see that? Miyamoto's Musashi's sword right there? Oh, let's go get that. That's ours right now. Let's go steal it. He's like, no, I'm not bad. I want to be good, but I also think you're good. Once she tries to slice him in the face, he's like, no, I think you're good too. You don't have to be bad. She's like, I know, but guess what? Being bad, I get to do whatever I want. So she kicks him, like gets his hand, does a reach around basically, so gets his hand behind his back, and that's the moment Raph pulls up. He's like, what, Leo, what are you doing? Let's just say innuendos. She was behind his back holding his hand. He's on the floor looking up, looking at Raph. Raph is like, what's happening here? What are you doing? What are you doing holding hands with a foot? We're trying to stop evil and you're out here holding hands with a foot. He's like, oh, no, this is not what it looks like. This is, then, what's his name? Karai is like, oh, really? Is that what it looks like? Explain. There's like, me and Karai, we have a mutual interest in sharp objects that are artistically made. And as soon as he was trying to explain, Snakeweed pulls up from the like pheromones of his spores that's coming off of Raph's back. He pulls up and what's his name? Leo's like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank goodness. The first time he was probably happy to fight a bad guy. And Raph's like, okay, all is forgiven. You're the leader now. Blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, okay. They start fighting Snakeweed. So Snakeweed, again, starts putting the stomp on them. He has Leo all tied up. He has Raph like this. He's like, Raph's trying to cut him, but Raph can't cut him. And Karai just watching, smirking and stuff. I'm like, this girl is devious. Then he's like, Karai, help me. But instead, she throws a knife straight at his head. And he like shells in to duck under it and stuff. So it like lands perfectly on top of his head. And that's how that's what he uses to cut free. He grabs it, slices Snakeweed off and stuff. And Karai disappears. She's like, sayonara. So that happens. Him and Raph break free. They tackle Snakeweed down. There's a few canister of like, I think dry ice, nitrogen gas, same thing, but a few canisters of nitrogen gas. That's what they used to eventually defeat Snakeweed by shoving it in his mouth. Then Leo shoves it in his mouth. Then Raph throws a sigh at it and explodes and freezes Snakeweed. And Raph's like, Booyakasha! Oh, yeah, that's so fun to say. And smashes Snakeweed into pieces. But his weird seed heart remains, and that beats. And I guess that's how he comes back in other episodes. But that's it for that episode. I mean, Raph, they go back home. Leo revives Mikey with some pizza and stuff. He's like, ooh, pepperonis. And Mike is like, oh, yes. Mike is like, oh, I had a dream that sewage actually came from. Then Don is like, no, that's all a dream. By the way, he also found out that fertilizer is made of feces. So he didn't know that too. Raph pulls Leo aside, is like, dude, what's up with that chick? He's like, oh yeah, she's just cool, she saved us and stuff. He's like, no, she threw a knife at your head. She's in the Foot Clan. He's like, nah, you don't know anything, man. I know everything. She's like cool and stuff. And that's about it for the new girl in town. So this has been Chris Platoon of channel Tell Me More. Hey, I'm trying to, oh yeah, it's about to be like 14 minutes. Thank you guys for watching this episode of TNMT2012 review, I guess. This is what I'm going to call this one. And leave your comments, sub, like, whatever it is. Like, tell me how you felt or what you experienced watching this episode. It was pretty hilarious for me. But yeah, bye. See you guys in the next one.